What's going on, guys? Denise Gonzalez here from WG Sports. Joining me today is Devan Kaney. Devan Kaney, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having us. We're in Philly today, by the way. So, talk about what you do. In the sports business.
So we're here in Old City, which is where the National Lacrosse League headquarters are, and that's where I work. It's my 9 to 5, but really my 24/7. I am the host and senior producer of all of the NLL's original content, and then I'm also the sideline reporter for the Philadelphia Wings, who are the NLL's Philadelphia team, and all of their games air on NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Awesome. You guys hear that? Some woman power. If you can change something in the industry for women, what would it be?
It's hard to pinpoint one thing and even just contain it to the industry, because I think what I would want to change is an overall respect and just assumptions about women. I feel like going into a game or before I do an interview, I have to do 10 times the amount of research than a man would, because if I mess up, my credibility is shot. You know, I have to work really hard every day. I get asked every day, you know, did you play lacrosse? What do you know about lacrosse? Where if a man was in my position, he probably wouldn't be asked that. So I think just changing the way men and women in the world views women in general would be a jumping off point for sure.
Growing up, did you have a role model that made you want to be in this industry, or did you just wake up one day and you were like, wow, like, you know, I want to be a role model for some, you know, for some younger generations, or how did that work?
Definitely didn't wake up and say I wanted to be a role model. I'm still, like, when people ask me that, I'm like, I don't think I'm a role model for anyone yet. I think, I know it sounds corny, but like my mom has always been my biggest role model, and she raised me to kind of be very into sports, and doing what I do, I didn't have like an aha moment where I was like, I want to be a sports reporter. Right. It was something that I think, like, from a young age, I just always kind of knew I was going to work in sports, whether it was, you know, on camera or what. So yeah, I mean, I wish I could say, you know, like, Erin Andrews changed my life, and there was like this one moment, and all of the women in our industry, no matter what level they're at, are inspirations and inspiring to me. But yeah, I'd say probably my biggest role model is my mom.
Who would you say is your favorite women's athlete?
Favorite women's athlete? I mean, there's so many. Obviously, the GOAT, Serena Williams.
Yes.
I grew up competitively skiing every weekend, actually, so Lindsey Vonn has always been a really big inspiration to me. Megan Rapinoe, obviously, everyone on the U.S. Women's National Team.
Love her.
Give me life. Julie Ertz. Yeah, I mean, the list goes on, but I don't know if I have just like one specific person. I know that's a lame answer, sorry.
No, it's a perfect answer. Speaking about Megan, what is your opinion on that whole WNBA and USA soccer team fighting for equal rights?
I think they deserve it. I mean, the U.S. Women's National Team won the World Cup. I don't even think the men's national team made the last World Cup. Like, come on, people. I mean, they dominate. I think if you're someone who is one of those people who's very vocal on Twitter and social media, advocating for NCAA athletes to get paid, then you should also be kind of doing the same thing for women in professional sports, because it's a similar situation. You know, they are getting paid where college athletes are not, but nowhere near the amount that they should be.
So for the younger generation, the little girls that look up to you and want to follow in your steps, what advice would you give them?
Don't let the bastards get you down. For lack of a better word or saying, I mean, don't take crap from anyone. It's a really, really tough industry. It's a tough business, and being a woman trying to make it in this business is 1,000 times harder than a man in our position. So there are going to be roadblocks. There's going to be men and women with opinions who think that they're entitled to give you advice, tell you what you can and cannot do. And I would just say, you know, just keep pushing. If you know you want to work in sports, whether it's in media or as an athlete or behind the scenes or social media, you know, whatever it is, just keep grinding and keep pushing, and hard work will always pay off.
I have to ask, when you were younger, did you ever imagine having the opportunities that you're grasping now?
I think I imagined it because I wanted it.
Yes.
I think I always knew I wanted to work in sports. I've always loved sports. I have an older brother.
Yeah.
My mom is also a huge sports fan. I mean, I grew up, I don't even know how old I was, probably younger than 10, and I have a vivid memory of watching the Eagles play the Rams in the NFC Championship and lose, and being so heartbroken about it. So sports have always been a huge part of my life. But I am extremely grateful for the opportunities I've been given, you know, thus far in my life, and hopefully I can just continue to keep working hard and keep making my way up.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure you will. So from what it sounds like, it looks like your family is huge on sports.
Mm-hmm.
What team besides the Eagles do they have?
I mean, from Philly, all
76ers?
love the Sixers, maybe not right now. Philly sports are a little bit sad right now, but yeah, love the Sixers, Flyers, and Phillies, of course. And of course, the Wings. I am the sideline reporter for the Wings, who are an NLL team. And my family is so supportive too. So like at the Wings home opener this year, I get a text from my mom. I'm like standing on the bench, and she's like, "Hey, I see you." And I turn around, and she's like literally in the front row, like waving to me. A little bit distracting, but still, I appreciate the support.
No, that's amazing. It's always important, especially being in this business, to have a big support group, because like she said, and other women, it's really hard to face adversity and not have anybody to just, you know, run back to, because at all times you have to be professional no matter what. So in college, as a college student, usually you have decisions where you have to make, either you do news, you do radio, or you do sports. What made you get into sports specifically?
So I would actually disagree and say that I don't think for any young women who are in school that you have to decide while you're in school. I got my master's in journalism. I was a communication major in undergrad, and I interned in various sports capacities. Like I interned for the Flyers at one point. I interned for CBS Sports, but my major, you know, wasn't like sports journalism. And my first job in journalism was actually in just local news and then national news after that. So the job I have now, even though I've had it for 2 years, is technically my first like official paid job in sports journalism. So I think I wouldn't, you know, worry too much about, oh my gosh, I have to decide if I want to do, you know, entertainment reporting or sports reporting. Like, I'm sure it'll help your reel if you're able to gather what you want to work in. But I also think it's almost limiting yourself in a way, because you could change your mind. I mean, I remember when I was in grad school for journalism, every single person in my class wanted to work for E! They wanted to be an entertainment reporter. How many of them are entertainment reporters now? Maybe like 2. So, and that's fine. And like they're happy, you know, one of them works for the Washington Post, one of them works for CNN. Like they're very successful, but I wouldn't, you know, just like narrow your sights. I'd stay pretty wide when you're in school.
You have to keep going. If not, you feel like you're just like
exactly
doing more.
But I think that there's a fine balance that we need to find between, you know, feeling that sense of urgency and rush and being settled. You know, you can be settled, but still have drive and still want to be the best you can be. And you're young, people watching are young, like you have time. I think just trust the timing of your life. I know it's a corny joke from like Pinterest or something, but like, it's true.
It's spot on.
Yeah. I had a news director say to me once, I think I was on like my second job on air, and he was like, just slow down. Like there's no rush.
Yeah.
Slow down. You're jumping from job to job too much. Like it'll come in time. Just learn from where you are right now in this moment. So, and that was probably the best advice I've gotten thus far.
You guys just basically got some knowledge. You should learn in
Thanks
college.
for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, you guys just got amazing advice right there, especially for college students who are into hosting and becoming a sports commentator or anything that has to do with sports. Take your time, believe in yourself, and to the women out there, you know, keep your head up high, especially when you're facing adversity. I'm Denise Gonzalez.
I'm Devan Kaney.
And we're signing out.